Good afternoon, Monarch fans, and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk with Rags here in Season 4, Episode 34. And today, here we are joined here by the head football coach of your Monarchs, Ricky Rahne, and with somebody associated with Old Dominion coming on a Monday. I call it Monarch Monday here on Sports Talk with Rags. So, Coach Rahne, appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Sure, no problem. Well, hey, let's get to the start. Pretty good turnout here a couple weeks ago with the ODU football golf fundraiser.
Yeah, it was great day. I mean, a little concerned about the weather, but it managed to hold off for us, and ended up being a great day. And I thought everybody had a good time, I was excited to just see. There's a wide variety of age groups and things too, and so I thought that was kind of a big deal. I think we still need to continue to work as a university about just kind of making sure that we have keep engaging the younger fan base and
Right.
our younger donors and things like that. So that was a big part of it.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's see. So, how has this off season been, and with the with spring practice, and then finishing up here with the spring game there back April 2024.
Yeah, I mean it's just a different process than maybe it used to be. Obviously, spring game was great. I thought we had a good spring ball, developed some depth, and I thought we played physical and did some good things. But you still are going to add, at that point we were still going to add 10 to 12 more players throughout the summer. So um, in today's modern age, the team continues to evolve all the way up until the first game, and really, let's be honest, even beyond, because there's some guys that maybe haven't had as many reps as they need to be ready to go, and that sort of thing. So it's been I thought it's been a really good off season. Our guys are working hard in the weight room, and they're getting some good meetings with the coaches and things like that. I think we've found a good way to be able to evolve and utilize new rules and all those sort of things. So that's been something that's been really good for us, and I think we've started to maximize that pretty pretty well at this point.
Yeah, what with the incoming freshmen and the transfers? I mean, are there quite a few Monarch football players that enroll there in summer school and get things rolling?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's actually mandatory for the guys. So I don't make it mandatory necessarily for the walk-ons, because I know that those guys need to be able to pay for school, and but still a lot of those guys are here.
Right.
But the scholarship guys are all here. We have a few guys still to get here and that sort of thing. They'll get here around the 22nd, so a little bit less than a week.
Okay.
And then we'll get some. The final batch will be here right before the season starts. So in late July.
Right.
So yeah, it's been good. I think our guys that were here, they've done a nice job of integrating the players that we have, and that have been coming in, and the new guys have kind of hit the ground running. So it's been good.
So, is there? I mean, the one thing about college football is it always is reporting during the season, off season. So and you talk about today's college football. So, is there any downtime here for the coaching staff?
As a coaching staff, there's some downtime here in July. The strength coach is still there, and the trainers are still there, so they get some of their downtime in a little bit in May. While the coaches are out recruiting and doing some of that sort of stuff. But as coaches, we'll get some downtime here in July, which is good for the players, because they need to. This June is really good because they're able to get better meetings, and there's no games to plan for and all that, no practices necessarily to plan for. So you can really dial in and focus on the things that need to be taught. But from a perspective of they also need some time off, right? I mean, they're still working hard. Lord knows July is a really a pretty intense month for the players because from a physical standpoint. But you like to give them that mental break a little bit. They'll still do some practices on their own and that sort of thing, but it's nice to be able to give them a little bit of a mental break.
Right. Yeah, and looking at the schedule, I mean, their Labor Day weekend, going down to Columbia and opening up there against the Gamecocks.
Yeah, excited about that. That's a great atmosphere. I've coached there a couple times when I was at Vanderbilt. Um, they have a tremendous fan base, and whether they're playing really really well, which they were when we were at Vanderbilt. I mean, they were the top. They were really one of the top teams in the SEC East, if not the top, during that time. And they were good. They were really good. And then they've had some other times that have been a little lean, but guess what? Their fans are always there, and they do a tremendous job. So it's going to be a great atmosphere for our players to be able to experience. But we're not just going down there to kind of soak it in. We're going down there to compete and win a football game. And I think that that's how we're going to approach everything that we do. I mean, yeah, we're excited about the opportunity. But for us, we're excited about the opportunity to be able to compete.
Yes, and with home opener, there in the first Saturday in September, and the kickoff time has already been announced with 6 p.m. But East Carolina, just coming up from Greenville, and that'll be a great way here for Monarch football to open up the 24 season.
Yeah, I think that we have obviously we have one of the best home schedules that we're probably ever going to have. When you look at a regional rival like East Carolina, when you look at an in-state rival like Virginia Tech, you got JMU coming in here, you've got Marshall coming in here, you got a Texas State team that people are expecting big things from, and that sort of thing. So we've got one heck of a schedule for our home fans, and so we're still hoping that we can sell this thing out, because obviously, we're going to be hard pressed to ever have a home schedule like this ever again. I mean, this is about as good as it gets, and I'm excited that to be able to play in those games, and a place like East Carolina, a team that close to us, that's a big deal. We know that, and so we're looking forward to play them. We know they're going to have some new wrinkles and new looks than what they had last year. So that'll be but Coach Houston does a fantastic job of getting the guys ready.
Yeah, and you talk about September 14th, not only in-state rival, but I know with where your previous assignments, with you and Coach Pry, knowing each other on a personal level.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that always adds a little bit something to it. I mean, not only him, but there's many coaches on that staff that or in their off field that I know and have a lot of respect for. So you like, just like when you're younger and you get to play against the guys in your neighborhood or your brothers and that sort of thing. It always adds a little bit more to the competition, just because there's some obviously there's no animosity there, right, by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a lot of you want to be able to hold your head up high and know that you were able to get one. So yeah, that'll be a great game. Obviously expecting a great crowd in that one, and it has been every time they've come here, and so expecting another great game.
Yeah, and then not Halloween weekend, but they're the weekend before. They're in October. Having a Thursday night home game. I mean, that's definitely here with TV evolving here with covering college football. That's always exciting here to not only play on a weeknight, but then also to have a home game and not only have the team on national TV, but then also the home crowd. That will be exciting there when Georgia Southern comes.
Yeah, it'll be a new challenge for us, going straight from a Saturday game to a Thursday game like that. And then obviously, yeah, we need to sell that out and let the whole nation know what Old Dominion's all about. That we had a great game against Georgia Southern last year. We really had one against them the year before as well. So I mean, they're a well coached football team. They've got a lot of talent, and just another great challenge in our conference. And we knew that when we joined the Sun Belt, there was going to be some Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games. I mean, that's just something that they've been able to hang their hat on. But it's got our conference great exposure, and it's been able to really kind of show out a little bit and allow our conference to be on national television and I think it's one of the things that makes it so great. So, that's something that we were looking forward to, is getting one of those. I'm glad it's a home game. It's a little bit less travel and that sort of thing. So I'm glad it's a home game. I've already got the planned out about how we're going to do that week. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but it's going to be, a challenge that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and then this is what the team's third season here competing in the Sun Belt, and I know that it definitely a lot of JMU in-state rivalry, Marshall a rivalry, not that far, Coastal Carolina, I know that you guys go down there this year, but they're in the Sun Belt, a lot more opponents that are within a drives, anywhere from 3 to 6, 7 hours. Good for our fans to represent there on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's 10 contiguous states, so that obviously helps. It's that's something. We're the only conference that has divisions. So I think that the way we do it with it being regional rivalries is really, really important. And when you look at even ours, maybe some that aren't necessarily regional rivalries, Georgia State and Georgia Southern, there's a long history of playing those two teams, and whether it be in the playoffs or in a former conference or whatever it is. So I think that that's also something that's kind of cool for our fans, is brings this team back to our roots and kind of where everybody's grown up, and I think that when you look at the passion of the fan bases too across the board, I mean, there's no fan base that's kind of like football, whatever. Right. I mean, this is everybody's deal. So I think that's another thing that makes this conference so great.
Yeah, and Coach Rahne, I moved here in '87 because my dad's in the military. But one of the guys that my brother, played baseball against was Marty Plank high school, and then they played against each other in college. So definitely here great connection here as fast forward here to now, where my brother Mike and I still keep in contact with Marty, and how the football team and you personally, has reached out there to Marty's son Parker.
Yeah, we were able to go see Parker. He's going through some health issues and things like that, and we'd heard some things about him, so we were able to go up there a couple years ago when we went up to UVA. And see him in the hospital. Me and at the time Zach Coombs, and that was a great experience just to see, how excited he was to see us, and just to see him fighting. And then he's come to a couple practices, and cool. He's still. You can just tell when you watch him watch us practice, and you just know how important sports are to him, and it was taken away from him a little bit there, and you could just see how important it was to us. So, our guys really love it when he comes around, and for us to hear that he's doing better and that sort of thing, it's been awesome. So hopefully we'll have him here soon, ringing the bell and doing that sort of thing, just to have a full recovery. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I mean, I know that everybody wants to win, and then the student athletes want to play at the next level if they stay free from injury and they have the opportunity. But also connecting with alums and their family, it definitely goes a long way with, getting to know you personal level, getting to know the players on a personal level, not just on game days.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes college football different. Obviously, some things have changed, and since when I first got into it, 21 years ago now. But ultimately, I'm still responsible for helping these guys continue to develop and grow as young men, and help to set them up, give them some life lessons to set them up for success in the future. And I understand that my job is still to win football games, and it's what I want to do, as much or more than anything. But I want to do it the right way, and I want to do it in a way where our guys can develop and our guys can become, productive members of our society, and take some lessons that they learn here with us, and maybe they pass it down onto their children, or they just use them in their own lives to be successful, or whatever that may be. I mean, I think that, I mean, I still call my high school coach, Tom Tennell. I still call him coach, I mean, I don't call him Tom.
All right.
And, I mean, I still talk to him a lot, and those sort of things. And he was very, very hard on me. But I needed it. And it was something that at the time may have been hard for me to understand. But when I got to college and realized that what he'd done is prepare me for college, and then ultimately help prepare me for life, I look back and I think that maybe there's, nobody who's had a bigger impact on me, so other than, my parents, obviously. So I think that that's what a coach can do. My college coaches were the same way. I mean, Pete Mangurian, my college head coach, I mean, that guy, helped, continue to mold me and shape me. And I think that, I owe a lot to him. And I think that most people, I'm currently reading a book about John Wooden, and I think that most people are going to say that about their college coaches, that they've had an impact. Now, again, I'm saying most. I understand that. Listen, as hard as I try to connect with every single young man that we have and that sort of thing, I'm not going to go 100%. I wish I would, and I'm going to keep trying until someday when I can. But I think that's why sometimes the transfer portal is a good thing. There are times and there's just not a connection, and in order for everybody to be successful, there needs to be a change, right? Now, I think sometimes we do it too soon, probably on both sides. If we're being real honest, probably on both sides. But it's not something that's everyone looks at it as it's this like evil thing, and that's not the case. It's not at all. It's just one of those things where there's sometimes where we need to move on and that sort of things. Or, hey, I gain a lot of lessons from this guy. I really have a lot of respect for him, but I need to go try to play, and I just want to play a little bit more. So there's just it's something that I'm going to continue to do, is try to make a connection with as many young men as I can to, and hopefully, you're looking and you're trying to be invited to their weddings and things like that.
Right. Well, hey, Coach Rahne, I know ran into you at the golf tournament here a couple of weeks ago. Appreciate Eric connecting us and lining this up and having you talk definitely about the upcoming season. But enjoy your couple more weeks here of some downtime, and then I know the official first day of practice is right around the corner.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it. Obviously, looking forward to having a break and being a little bit more with my family and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean that first day of practice is something that you look forward to every year, and camp is a special time where you're really around the guys, and it's a lot about ball, and that's the time that if you don't love that, then maybe you should probably get out of coaching, because that's the best time of year. So
yeah,
thanks for having me on.
Sure, no problem. And like I said before we started, I know that Elizabeth and I we got tickets, and we're ready here for September 7th there with the home opener. But we'll definitely be watching on that first road game, and go Monarchs.
Yeah, appreciate your support, man.
All right, thanks. All right.